I know I'm not the only person who felt like this. You feel like a complete failure because you missed one workout and now your mind is telling you that you're useless, that you're doing the same shit that you've always done, that you're not making progress. And that's exactly where my client Brian was until he did this one thing. He simply picked up a pen, wrote down what was happening in his head, and then boom, suddenly he's feeling completely different about everything.
I can say like I've been doing good and I don't give myself enough credit for it, but in journaling, I'm like, hey, Brian, let's put it into context. You're actually doing pretty good, relatively speaking, to how you've been for like years.
And this, my friends, is the power of journaling. And if you are not using this tool, you are leaving your emotional control, your mental clarity, you're rolling your dice with it. You're leaving it up to chance. In this video, I'm gonna break down exactly why journaling is the cheat code to life. And I'm gonna show you proof. So let's get right into it. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button right now. My name is Robert Brix Glover. 12 years ago, I lost 160 pounds. And on this channel, I give away all the gems, all the insights, all the knowledge, all the tools that I learned during that process so that your journey can be a hell of a lot easier than mine was, all right? So my client, Brian, right? He started journaling twice a week, nothing crazy. And all of a sudden now, he's doing it every day. And it wasn't because I told him to do it. It's because he felt like he needed to. And here's why.
Honestly, it's just like life, like, because there's so much up here as far as life goes, and it's just like chaotic at times.
See, this is the part that most people don't understand about journaling. It's not about writing your thoughts. It's about getting control of your emotions before they start running your life. Think about how often we get caught up in our emotions. Like you may miss one workout and all of a sudden your brain is telling you that you're a complete failure. But when you take a second and you write that down, you'll realize, wait, hold up. I'm not a failure. I missed one workout. I've been consistent all month. But in that moment when you're feeling like a failure, you tend to forget about the consistency that you've been showing. Bro, this is why journaling is the cheat code. You ever had a thought in your head that completely sounds legit, but when you say it out loud, you're like, wait, this shit is dumb. I'm thinking some wild, crazy shit right now. That's because when your thoughts are in your head, they feel real, but they're not. When you write them down, you get a chance to see the errors in the way that you think sometimes. When you write it down, you literally get a chance to filter out the emotional distortion on your thoughts. When you have a thought and you add an emotion to it, sometimes that emotion can change the reality of how you perceive that thought. Most of us don't even realize that 90% of the stress that we feel comes from a false story that we keep telling ourselves. It's not true. And journaling helps you expose that lie before it takes over your life.
So I feel like it just puts things into context and declutters my mind. There's so much junk. And I feel like journaling and like the breathing and just all that helps me filter it out.
So at this point, you get it. Journaling helps you control your emotions. It helps you see your thoughts clearly, and it stops you from allowing these negative thoughts to spiral you into the depths of depression. But the real question is, how do you actually use this in your life? How can you get started? Here's the exact method that I teach my clients. Step one, you're gonna set a 5-minute timer and you're just gonna simply do a brain dump. No structure, no fancy prompts, just raw thoughts on paper. Why? Because when your thoughts stay in your head, they feel real. But the second you write them down, you create distance, and that distance is what gives you clarity. You get to see in real time the shenanigans that happens in your head. For example, let's say you're beating yourself up because you skipped a workout. Your brain is screaming, I'm lazy, I'm a failure, you keep doing the same shit over and over, you're a loser. But when you write it out, you can actually see that 9 times out of 10, these type of thoughts are absolutely bogus. It's some BS. Step 2, I want you to question your own thoughts. Once you write your thoughts down, I want you to fact check them. How valid is this? Ask yourself, is this actually true? What's the bigger picture that I may not be seeing here? If my friend told me this, would I agree? For example, my client literally wrote, I missed a workout, so now I'm a failure. But when he looked at it, he was like, wait, I've been consistent for weeks. I've actually lost several pounds. I'm actually making progress. So what the hell am I talking about here? And that's the power of journaling. It forces you to step outside of your head so that you can see the full picture. Step 3, now that you've fact checked your thoughts, now it's time to flip the script, right? Now it's time to reframe this thought through the context of what you learned from looking at the bigger picture. For example, you may turn, oh, I missed a workout, I'm a failure, into, I missed one workout, but I've been consistent for weeks. So I'm still making progress. Let me stop tripping. And the final step in this process is for you to write your next move. You don't have to solve everything at once. Just figure out what's the next step that you're actually gonna take. For example, all right, you missed the workout, cool. Move on. What's next? Maybe you can go cook a healthy meal. Maybe you can go for a short walk. The key is to take what you learn and to shift from self-criticism to some sort of action in the right direction. That's key. And that action can be something small. Matter of fact, I advise it to be something small, but be sure to take some sort of action in the right direction. This right here is the difference between reacting emotionally and responding intentionally. Two very different things that create two very different outcomes. Most people stay trapped in their emotions because they never take the time, or they never learned how to process them. Taking a second to write down what you're thinking and feeling is like hitting a mental pause button, and we all need that shit sometimes. Again, journaling is not just about writing your feelings. It's about training your brain how to think clearly, how to control your emotions, and make better decisions. So for the next 5 days, this is what I want you to do. 1, do a 5-minute brain dump where you reflect on your day. Fact check it. How true is that thought? How true is those emotions? In step 3, if you identify an error in your thinking, you reframe it, and then you write down what your next move is. If you do this for 5 days, I promise you, you're gonna notice a shift in how you handle stress, how you show up to adversity, and even how you talk to yourself. Look, I know journaling may sound like some soft self-improvement hack, but take it from me, and my client is proof that this shit actually will change your life if you commit to it. And if you try it, you will find out for yourself. Just try it for 5 days. Make it a little experiment. Just 5 minutes a day, and then come back here and drop a comment about what you've noticed from your journaling exercise. Then I want you to share this video with a friend, because this world becomes a better place if men like us learn how to regulate our emotions. And hit the subscribe button if you want more content like this.